Yeah, no problem. So the country as we know it is basically collapsing in on itself, or already has. The government is very corrupted and unstable, which means basically the ROK or the military is unable to hold or keep a good hold on any sort of defensive or offensive operations, right? As you can see on the map, basically we have enemy hotbeds on the western and eastern side of the country, and basically the ROK is failing to hold the far north region that is currently friendly due to how far away it is and just their resources and capabilities. They don't have that. Um, so yeah, I mean that's basically it. In the past, right, this is a war-torn country. A lot of munitions was left behind by the previous militaries that have been here, so you can kind of guess what their arsenal is going to be as far as the military capability is. Bunch of hodgepodge put together weapons, right? 80s Soviet era um, munitions, that type of stuff. And that's kind of just the rep as we know it now. Are there any questions for me?
Nope.
All right.
Thank you, Stone. So if you look at the current location in grid 202050, the rock checkpoint on the eastern side of the MSR, that is our current location. We will be pushing to the Snake Den and the Soar Hooch, which are to the west, a couple clicks, probably about 10 clicks. Snake Den being a couple hundred meters to the west of the exterior fence for the airfield. Right, the Snake Den is a covert compound, so this means that we need to be conscious of how we enter and exit said compound, what you're wearing, what is equipped, right, and the numbers that we leave in. Right, same goes for entering. If you look at the MSR, there are multiple breakoff points that have been marked. Each one of these is designed to split up the total numbers of people that we have so that we're not pushing through in a large congregation. We'll stagger the departure times. So if you look in the top right, or just north of where we're at, you'll see the order of departure. And so it basically goes, the farthest away team will leave first, followed by the second farthest away, all the way down the line. Okay. Your guys' speed en route is up to the team leader. Just, again, we're trying to be discreet, so don't just be fucking hauling ass down the MSR. The rock checkpoints, they're not expecting us, at least your standard foot guard is not going to be expecting or notified of Delta moving through. So you need to operate as civilians, drive slowly through the checkpoints. They should treat you like civilians, right? So if you don't do anything sus, there should be no problems. Once we've reached the Snake Den and Sora's at the Hooch, we'll get on net with each other. We'll establish comms. We'll get settled in here. It'll probably take a couple minutes to do that. And then we'll immediately push to a KLE at the rock checkpoint and just assess the defenses of this river. While that goes on, pilots, they'll be conducting air reconnaissance to the north airfield, as well as trying to get eyes on the Kerdakistan presidential palace in the event that we either A, need to take it back from enemy forces, or B, need to defend said compound. Okay, so that's an intelligence stone to make sure you get with the pilots afterwards and collect that from them.
Copy.
Pilots, once you have kind of done your initial flyover recon, if you've assessed areas that need to be resupplied or can be beefed up, I'll leave that up to your discretion, 6, as to where you want to beef up, just so everyone's kind of on the same page. What we're concerned about as a whole is that this gets cut right down the middle and we lose access to the north airfield. Okay, so Soar, just really keep an eye on this fucking riverbed as well as these hills to the west, and just try to figure out what would be strategic in terms of securing our supply to the north.
Raj.
Does anyone have any questions thus far?
Yeah, what does the alpha final position reference as far as
Final approach.
final approach? Okay.
Waypoints for alpha.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not a stopping point. Okay.
No, it's that way King knows we're the last group to arrive at the Snake Den.
Yep.
Okay.
So, team leaders, you're responsible for marking your route from the breakoff point. I don't care what it is, but you need to mark your route from said breakoff point, and you need to go from the point that you've been given. I also need a couple waypoints marked down on your route, and you need to come up on net just so we have a ping system in the event you guys get schwacked and we don't have comms. I can at least roughly guess where you're going to be at off your last waypoint. Okay, so make sure you get a couple waypoints down as well.
Okay,
As far as the MSR waypoints, just call if you pass. Let's say you're Charlie Cell and you're passing fucking the X-ray breakoff. Just say Charlie Cell X-ray. Charlie Cell Thunder. All right, those will be your waypoints.
Got it.
Who's going to be on Channel 9? Or is
We'll
anyone?
have the Echoes
All
on
Echoes
9.
will be on channel 9.
Okay,
Oh,
is
Closer
Viper?
to, yeah.
So if we need to talk to Viper, what channel will you be on?
Net one.
So once you guys push to the airfield and everyone gets settled in and we've confirmed that everyone's where they need to be, you guys can go to 09 and talk to the Echoes. But when we're all moving as if we're one ground element, just hop to 05. So
Okay.
05 will be your squad net.
So
and you'll just
05
hop
for
on.
the ground transit.
Yep. And then once we got everyone settled, I'll give you the all clear to push to 09. Does anyone have
Ready
any
to check.
questions?
Gotcha. I hear you.
All right. Team leaders, you have 5 minutes to double check everyone in your team. Mark up your fucking waypoints in your route. If you see another vehicle, so if you see another team approaching the compound, you need to like detour and space it out. We can't have vehicles just pulling in ones and twos over the course of a couple minutes. It's got to be like a 10-minute spread between the 4 Vics. Right? Or
Got it.
obviously doesn't really apply to you guys. All right.